Narcissistic abuse leaves you drained, confused, and tempted to keep watching the narcissist nest to move. But the Bible gives us an ultimate healing command that is so powerful and will help you to move on. And the command is mind your own business. And we can find it in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11, which says, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. You should mind your own business and work with your hands. Now let's break this down with biblical examples so you can exactly see how to walk in this truth and finally heal. And I constantly talk about focus on yourself on this channel, and it's something like mind your own business because it's what worked for me. I wasn't hung on what the narcissist was doing. I wasn't stuck on it. No, I didn't put my mind there. I focused on me, and that is what the command is saying to us: mind your own business. And there's wisdom in minding your own business, to be honest, and but it doesn't come easy. I understand when you've been abused, your focus can get stuck on what the narcissist is doing now. Do they regret losing me? Who is he with now? And how do I prove my side of the story? I get it. It's not easy to mind your own business, but scripture says your ambition, your life's focus should be entirely different. And it is three things from 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 11. Lead a quiet life, mind your own business, work with your hands. Now, this isn't about ignoring injustice. It's about refusing to waste your God-given energy on someone who thrives on pulling you into chaos. It's about refusing to waste your God-given energy that you could have used to build your life on someone who is not ready to change. And these are some biblical examples of focusing on self and God. Nehemiah rebuilding the wall. We can see that in Nehemiah 6, 1-4. And so Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls when enemies tried to contact him. They sent messages saying, come, let us meet. But Nehemiah replied, I'm doing a great work and cannot come down. He refused to come down. He kept on doing the work that God had called him to do. And then the healing is your own wall. The healing is your own wall. And so don't come down to argue. Don't come down to spy. Don't come down to prove yourself to the narcissist. You don't have anything to prove. You don't have anything to explain. Once God understands you, that settles it. And so face your healing just like Nehemiah faced the wall of Jerusalem. The next biblical example of focusing on minding your own business is Jesus ignoring Herod. And we can see that in Luke 13, 31-33. Now, when they told Jesus that Herod wanted to kill him, Jesus didn't panic or chase after explanations. He wasn't ready for all that. He wasn't ready for arguments. He basically said, I'll keep doing my mission until I'm finished. And if Jesus can ignore a corrupt ruler and stay on purpose, so can you. You definitely can. And so as much as possible, refuse to be drawn in by distractions. Refuse to be drawn in by things that take you away from your healing, because your healing is paramount, and that is what you should focus on at the moment. And then the next example is that of Paul. And we see how Paul was focused on ministry in Philippians chapter 3, verse 13-14. And he said in the Bible, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal. Pressing forward means you stop revisiting the past with the narcissist and start working toward God's promises for your future. And so even in your mind, stop revisiting whatever it is that happened between you and the narcissist. Let it go. Let me repeat. Let it go. Forget whatever it is that has happened in the past. Stop overthinking. Overthinking is a trauma response. You got to free yourself of overthinking. And so stop thinking too much about what has happened in the past. Move on. Forget what has happened in the past. That is what Paul said. in that verse of scripture, Philippians 3:13-14. And so move towards what God has for you. And so living a quiet life is spiritual warfare. It might seem boring to some people, but people who understand know that living a quiet life is spiritual warfare. Because the narcissist feeds on your attention, he feeds even on your anger. But living quietly isn't weakness, it is warfare. And then when you stop feeding the narcissist your attention, when you stop feeding the narcissist your validation, when you stop feeding the narcissist your worship, your adulation, they starve. Because they live for those moments where you validate them. They live for those moments where you grant them attention. They live for those moments when you grant them worship. And so when you work with your hands and mind your business, you break the trauma bond and reclaim control of your life, reclaim control of your energy, reclaim control of your power. And Proverbs 26:17 says, like one who grabs a stray dog by the ears is someone who rushes into a quarrel not their own. Don't grab the dog. Let it go. The quarrel is not your own. Face your life. Mind your own business. And so what are the practical steps to obey? 1 Thessalonians chapter 4:11. Lead a quiet life. That's the first thing. Stop broadcasting your pain to people who don't care or who gossip. You want to explain yourself to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You don't have to do that. Lead a quiet life. You don't have to explain yourself. No. Keep it within you. Let God vindicate you. And so stop the pity party, stop the victim mentality where you are explaining to everybody just because you want them to see you as a victim. You are not a victim. You are a survivor. You are a victorious person. And so lead a quiet life. That is the first thing to do. The second one is mind your own business. Stop tracking the narcissist all over town. Stop asking mutuals how he's faring. That is none of your business. And stop stalking his social media or even checking his email or anything. Just mind your own business. Focus on your life. Focus on your healing. Focus on things that bring you joy. Focus on things that feed you. Focus on God too. Very important, because God is the ultimate in the equation. And then the next thing is work with your hands. Start building something. Write, paint, garden, start a business, volunteer. Do something that takes you away from the pain. Do something that makes you forget whatever it is you're facing. Help someone. Pour into someone, mentor someone. Just find something to do that you've never done before, just as a way of channeling your pain into purpose. Because you got to find how to channel your pain into purpose. And the last one is redirect your focus daily, because sometimes your focus will want to stray away from minding yourself. So you got to redirect it every day. Each time your mind drifts away, pray Psalm 23 over yourself and do something productive. Do something productive with your time. Very, very important. And then your healing starts when your focus shifts from them to God and you. And so today, decide like Nehemiah, I'm doing a great work. And seriously, you're doing a great work. Your healing is great work. And so Nehemiah said, I'm doing a great work. I cannot come down. And so say that too, because the greatest revenge against proving them wrong, the greatest revenge isn't proving them wrong. It is living a peaceful, productive life. It is living a God-centered life, a life that honors God. And so if this message blessed you, do go ahead to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to download her 100% free ebook on reclaiming your life and power after narcissistic abuse, and it's available for download at the link in the description. Also check the link in the description for some cross references on 1 Thessalonians 4:11, which we've dealt with in this video. And so there are certain cross references that will explain better to you, that will enable you to understand it better. And so check the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you. Mwah. See you in my next.